Hey, this is Carrie Ellis, and today we are going to make Mom's Barley Soup. It is early March here in the Rocky Mountains where I live, and there's still plenty of snow on the ground. We can't wait for it to melt. How much snow is outside our window. It's really easy to make a pot of homemade soup, and learning something new is always a little bit difficult. It takes some effort. I just want to congratulate you on being here because that took effort. And some people who are sick, who have cancer, heart disease, or the flu, don't even bother looking for an answer. So then watching what I do right now is so quick and easy to put together this pot of soup. In the 1918 flu epidemic, which was terrible, 40 million people died worldwide. That's a lot of people in one flu epidemic. And one of the ladies who actually helped a lot of people get well was a woman homeopath. And she treated the people homeopathically, plus she gave them barley broth. And barley has beta-glucans in it, a very high amount of beta-glucans, and those are extremely supportive of the immune system. So this soup is chock full of super immunity ingredients that I talk about in my Super Immunity Secrets book, which is available on Amazon or as an ebook at my site, carrieellis.com or superimmunitysecrets.com. What's really important today, though, is that you see how quick and easy this soup is to make. So many different kinds that you can make at home, have for your family. We don't go through a winter in my house without a pot of Mom's barley soup on the stove one day during the week, and we eat out of it all week. So Super Immunity Mom's Barley Soup is, I consider it a cornerstone of a healthy winter diet. Something to help protect us from cold, flu, bugs that go around us well, but also start creating those preventive patterns. So let's get down to it, and I'm going to time how long this takes, and you'll see it's just like that to throw it together. The pot of soup takes 2 hours to cook, so you want to do it on a Sunday or a Saturday or an evening, sometime when you're home. I've been a vegetarian for many, many years, and I've been raw food, I've been partly raw, I've been vegan, kind of all different varieties of it over the last 40 years. It's a long time, but it has served me well. I'm very grateful for that, and what's really exciting is in the last few years there was a study done, I talk about this in my book, with 8,000 people that demonstrated that all degenerative illness could either be reversed or prevented with a very small to no animal foods in the diet, very small amount, maximum 7%. So if you're still really into meat and you want to put a soup bone in this pot of soup, go ahead and do it and have the super immunity ingredients along with it. I would say set a goal for yourself to learn how to enjoy it without the meat, because meat has byproducts that are in the family of uric acid, what is found in urine. And those that uric acid has a crystalline structure which tends to gather in the body and gather in the weak areas, create a more acidic system and make it more difficult for the body to eliminate the toxins from the meat. So let's go ahead and make some super immunity soup. So I've got a big soup pot here. I believe it's an 8-quart soup pot, and I've got about 3 quarts of water in it. One expensive. This is also called super immunity on a budget. This is not an expensive meal to make. So 3/4, I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup of barley in this. You can put a 1/2 cup. The barley really swells up and it will fill this pot, believe me. I get a can of diced tomatoes in their own juice, and I also like adding a can of Great Northern beans, and I've got organic ones here that I just got at my grocery store. The organic ones. We are going to add 2 carrots. And I don't often peel my carrots, but these are some that we stored for the winter and they needed to be peeled. I'm using a big sharp knife. Be careful if you use a sharp knife. I learned this from my grandma as a child, so I'm relatively comfortable doing it, but you can use a smaller knife. And I have garlic as one of our really potent super immunity ingredients. It has a substance in it similar to penicillin called allicin. And I've got a number of studies about this cited in my Super Immunity Secrets book, which I would just say, you know, if you want to have one book with some recipes in it in your kitchen, I'd recommend my Super Immunity Secrets book. I wrote that book not to be wordy. It's just short and to the point. It's a great little handbook. When you want to It's got about 50 recipes in it, which is not too many. And when you want a good recipe for a soup, a salad, lunch, dinner, or breakfast, there's a handful of simple recipes for each one of those. And guess what? You'll notice I didn't even peel the garlic. I'm throwing the paper right in there because the paper part of the garlic is the highest part in vitamin C. Again, I'm not going to peel them. These are potatoes that we stored for the winter, and you want to cut them into kind of bite-sized pieces. I'm going to put just 2 or 3 medium-sized potatoes. This is sort of like a barley vegetable soup. So we're going to have a number of different vegetables and colors in here. Barley soup. So there's 2 or 3 medium-sized potatoes. I have green chilies here. You can buy green chilies at the grocery store, either frozen or canned, and they're a nice ingredient to add. All different kinds of chilies are kind of part of the super immunity system here. So I've got some Thai chili, some crushed red chili here. I'm going to put a little dose of that. Curry powder, and I'm putting a couple of heaping teaspoons in here. So we're going to put a couple of giant heaping tablespoons of oregano in the soup. And oregano is one of the strongest antiviral, antibacterial herbs that there is. I also have here some cilantro, which a Japanese dentist discovered helped eliminate mercury from the body. And all of us have mercury exposure. There are huge amounts of mercury in our atmosphere, as well as if we've had silver dental fillings. And I try and keep cilantro in a lot of our recipes. Yeah, we're going to let this pot of soup simmer, and a few of the really nice ingredients I add are a few tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to add a couple of capfuls, that's just how I measure, it's kind of the easy way, of a healthy natural soy sauce. And I also really like umi plum vinegar, and this was a food of the samurai because it alkalizes. So we'll come back and take a look at it as it cooks, and like I said, the Mom's Barley Soup cooks for 2 hours, and that's quite a bit of time. Just simmers on the stove. Okay, there's that soup bubbling away, cooking. And boy, does the house smell good. So the soup is bubbling away, and you can see that it's cooked down a bit. And we've got about a half an hour of the cooking time yet to go. I'm going to have to add about a quart of water right now. Fill the pan right up with some good water, and I'm going to chop this entire bunch of parsley, and we'll just go ahead and add it to the pot. And here we go, we'll get out a spoon. Here I have, it's just a pack of frozen vegetables from the grocery store. There is a wonderful pot of Mom's Barley Soup. We've got about another half an hour to cook. And then this soup is so good, oh my goodness. So we're gonna dish up a big bowl, and you can taste the chilies and the tomatoes. Get a little broth in there. Oh, this is absolutely some of the best stuff on the planet. And just to show you, it's kind of hot, but I'd like for you to have a spoon with me. Ah, you know, it is just really good. Come and visit me at carrieellis.com. Check into my blog, get on my mailing list, get my free super immunity tips. Okay, have a good one.